fifth dimension. Aquarius I am. We in the Aquarius age for the next 2,000 years, you dig?
Swing low, time to move on. Light years in time, ahead of our time.
I want to free your mind by helping you understand the zodiac signs. That's right, you're live with Aquaman in the zodiac zone where the cosmos is your home. I'm your very own Ampu, the real urban guru, coming through on the mothership. So let's open up your cosmic memory bank and swing down to earth with a shit stain. Hey, what's happening? It's Ampu, the real urban guru, man, coming through, man, coming off that mothership, man, a double header. I just dropped an amazing video earlier today, the Kevin Hart and The Rock, right, showing you their beautiful chemistry. So be sure to check that video out right here on the channel. All right. Today I got to get into JuJu and Cam'ron. I'm just so amazed at the accuracy of God. God is so beautiful. You know, and I'm saying that because I really believe, and since God's reality can be measured, that is to me one of the best ways to be able to define reality and what it is that this invisible but yet omnipresent creator has in store for us and whatnot. All right. So let's just get straight into it. JuJu and Cam'ron have been in a relationship for, she said, 10 years on the Breakfast Club as of recently, but known each other for 15 years. Let me just kind of preface with that, because I know that Saturn is a planet that takes on average anywhere from 28 to 30 years to make one full revolution. So if I'm dealing with the 30-year revolution of Saturn, then I know that 15 years is half of that. So if you can kind of imagine a wall clock, and let's say Saturn's at 12 o'clock when Cam'ron and JuJu meet, well, 15 years later, Saturn will be at 6 o'clock. And this is interesting because this is absolutely in opposition to where it was when you first come together. This is one of the cycles of Saturn. Half of 15 technically would be 7.5, but then that's a quarter, and quarter of the way the cycle is known as the 7-year itch. This is when relationships go through their stuff, right? It's the 7-year itch. That's the whole rule. So this 7-year interval, 7, 14, 21, 28, it averages, because we don't live in a perfect circle. We live in an egg-shaped circle, an oblong circle. So sometimes it's 28 to 30 years to make one full circle. So anyway, looking at the relationship, by saying that 15 years ago, Saturn was in complete opposition to where it was. And that is definitely a testing point to any relationship. Relationships, you just got to kind of think of it like this. You go through 7 to 8 year checkup periods within those particular intervals. OK, this is why 28 to 30 is known as the Saturn return. Usually, this signifies a time in your life that it's time to grow up, and the decisions that you made either show you that, okay, you're about to become responsible and successful, or there's a lot of stress taking place based off the decisions that you made that you feel like, life is kicking you behind because of these decisions, and now you're forced to grow up and become responsible. Okay, but either way it go, it's predicated upon the decisions that we make. So let's get into, I should really do it reverse. Let's get into JuJu's. Well, let's deal with Cam'ron's birthday because he's born first. All right. So the record says he's February the 4th, 1976. I want to note the position of the moon when Cam'ron was born, because I always say it. You can go to in a lot of these videos that I've done. The moon, the position of the moon, when a man is born, gives us direct insight into what kind of woman he is looking for. I'm about to so prove this with Cam'ron and JuJu. Okay. Again, this is Michael Jackson moonwalk in the goddess system and God's system of theology. The moon is Diana, and this Michael Jackson, Dirty Diana. You got to understand. See, Jay-Z said it. Hov said it. And bam, on 444, he said, listen, man, the poets were the prophets, right? So I'm just showing you how Michael Jackson to get this Dirty Diana moonwalk thing, but it's really talking about an ancient cosmic principle that's embedded into all of our being. You got to get this, okay? So the position of the moon when a man is born gives us direct insight, along with some other things, but this one gives us direct insight into what he is looking for in a woman. This is a fact. So the moon appears to be right at starting to get towards the tail of the Pisces constellation when Cam was born. Let's go 9 years later to 3/21/1985. Where is the sun and moon for JuJu when she was born? This is why I said God is amazing. Because for me, you got to really understand this. I get an idea. I'm minding my business. Then all of a sudden, I see something and I'm like, you know what? I should do them. And then when I go look, things match up 100%. Direct bullseye. Now, I've been saying it. The moon moves 13 degrees per day. If you follow this channel, you're going to get this education. You already know. It moves 13 degrees a day. Not to mention, it's 9 years later. The moon could have been in any other of the 11 zodiac signs when JuJu was born 9 years later. It could have been anywhere. But why was it right here in the exact same sign in the exact same region of space? Because even within the zodiac sign, each sign has 30 degrees. It could have been at over here or way over there. Anywhere from 0 degrees or way over at 29 degrees. As you can see, the moon is pretty much in the exact same degree. Okay. So you know what this means? When people share the same moon energy, but in this case, not only do they share the same moon energy, for JuJu, the sun is there too. When Cam'ron will physically see a woman who has the same moon as him, he is going to feel a magnetic pull, a magnetic attraction. This is why, according to her story on the Breakfast Club, she was working at the airport. Cam came through and he's like, yo, I think you're beautiful. What's your number? And then they've been rocking out ever since. He feels this magnetic pull. Science has taught us that the moon has some type of gravitational pull on the Earth's water. Time out. If the moon does have a pull on the Earth's water, then that means you're on the Earth. Surely you're not bigger than all the waters on the Earth. You're just a tiny little speck, right? And then majority of your body is water. So therefore, it has to have some type of energetic pull on you. Here lies the problem. We don't necessarily know how the rays of light, modern science don't know, shall I say, how the rays of planetary energy affects the human psychology. But I just showed you in the previous video with Kevin Hart and The Rock that science has just found that that eclipse that took place on August the 21st, 22nd, the American eclipse, the moon shadow had produced something called bow waves in the Earth's upper atmosphere, the ionosphere, right? This is a fact. So these waves of energy actually are computed inside of the human psyche. And when we get in vicinity of one another, we act like magnets. Either two things are going to happen. We're going to come together or we're going to bump heads and repel each other. Okay? It's a fact. Now, March the 21st, 1985, JuJu's birthday, the sun and moon are together. She's a new moon baby. If you go to 1985, you can see it. The sun and the moon are together. But since it wasn't an eclipse, because the moon didn't block out no path of the sun, this makes it a new moon. JuJu is a new moon baby, okay? Now, which is great. And on that day, March the 21st is the first day of Aries. So depending on her time of birth, she technically could be a 29-degree Pisces. Just like today is December 28th, you know, later on today, in 4 hours from now, we could, you know, it could go from Capricorn to Aquarius if we was on the cusp. All right. But my point is, I seen her represent Aries. I'm going to give her Aries. OK. So anyway, that's special in itself because she's a 0 degrees Aries. The first day of any zodiac sign is 0 degrees, the very beginning. Okay, so take that note down. She's a 0 degrees Aries. Interesting. Let me deal with that now, though, because I know that a couple days ago, Saturn went home to Capricorn. Capricorn to Aries is something called a square. It's coming at you sideways. So me looking at JuJu, don't matter the year, because I know for sure she's 321, but this energy, I know this is the year. But you being born on 321 period, the sun is always going to be in the same position in the sky. Don't matter the year. Always. Okay? Saturn being where it's at tells me that there is going to be some type of issue with masculine men, with the masculine principle in her life. Because Saturn represents the father and authoritative principle, and the sun kind of represents the same thing. I'm the boss. I'm the light of the solar system. When you look at keywords for the sun, it's masculinity. It's Apollo, the god. But then Saturn is Chronos, father time. I'm the god too. The sun and Saturn is the whole Christ story, right? The son of God is going to fight Satan, which is Saturn. And when you get to this time of year called Capricorn, where Saturn rules Capricorn, winter, the light of the sun starts to, it's cold outside, okay? But slowly but surely, do you know, light is coming to the planet again. On the first day of winter, December 21st, right, we start to get more light. Daylight is getting longer, approximately about 2 minutes a day. So the sun is risen on the third day, okay? This is the whole Christ story. Just dealing with the cosmic phenomena. We got to get this shit. All right. So I know off rip 15 years isn't. Also Saturn in opposition. Look at this. Saturn in opposition to the relationship. And at the same time, it happens to be in a position where it's coming. The energy of that ray of light is sideways, called a square. Is going to challenge JuJu with masculine relationships. Real talk. There's a way to, you know, get the best of this energy, of course, but it's a whole nother dialogue. All right. Let me show you one more thing real fast. Let's go back to Cam's birthday and look at the position of the sun. Please note that the sun appears to be in the body of Capricorn, headed towards Aquarius. It looks that way. All right. But when we look at JuJu, when she was born, let's look at the planet Jupiter. Jupiter's planet is Jupiter's planet. Her planet Jupiter is in the exact same position where Cam's sun is at. This is a blessing. What is Jupiter's energy? Abundance. That's a key word, right? Another key word on the right column is profits, like money. Let's look at this. So when you meet a person who has the planet of abundance and prosperity in the exact same position that you have your sun, which represents your vitality of who you are, when you two come together, it should be a very expansive relationship that's about growth. It also needs to be a relationship that has the same philosophy on life and spiritual cord, because Jupiter's energy is all about traveling overseas and studying different religions and things of that nature. You don't necessarily have to study different ones, but it can, because it's the master teacher to a degree. Okay. So this explains why when they got together, it was straight up like real estate. Right. So I think I addressed the other one. Didn't I address it earlier? Because I made 2 versions of this and I ended up cutting one. But just let me double back a little bit, too, because DJ Envy says something, and I see something in this kind of relationship where when the sun, JuJu, and the man's moon are in the same vicinity, that produces a role reversal. OK, now JuJu said Cam started acting a little funny to a degree, and like, you know, you doing your own thing now. That's you. Right. I'm a little inclined to believe that. And I'll tell you why, because I understand this energy. When you have a role reversal, the woman's masculine energy is coalescing with the man's female energy. So masculine energy to a degree, especially the solar energy of the sun, is I'm the boss. Okay. So when you start bossing up in your own life, the man to a degree can feel some type of way because the moon represents feelings, right? So DJ Envy verifies this, and he's like, that's like basically, man, when my wife ended up going out and getting some money, it kind of made me have to like, wait a minute, I wear the drawers around here. I wear the pants around here. It kind of gave you a quick feeling of insecurity. I'm not saying that this is the case with Cam. All I'm saying is when there is an energy swapping, right? The woman's masculine is messing with the man's feminine. Sometimes it comes out that way where it's just like, huh, you doing you, do you. And again, I'm not saying Cam's insecure. He just could have simply been like, I know this is the end and I want you to do you. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, you can't say, and I can tell the sentiment, how JuJu processed that she doesn't feel that way. And I'm telling you, that's part of why, because there's an energy swapping. See, this is why it's paramount. Like my daughter ain't never getting in a relationship without me setting up the whole science. And this is why in India, in the East, they arrange their weddings straight up. All right. And see, again, Hov started to allude to that when he was talking about, he was playing that Wu-Tang, like, you know, my family and your family, you know what I mean? This is how we start building a dynasty type of thing, right? There's a way that you can be able to tell what energy is when you produce it. But most importantly, both people need to be very, very conscientious of what it is, in agreement to what it is, and then work that thing and make it manifest. That's the real JuJu. Now I ain't talking about the female JuJu who we talking about today. I'm talking about JuJu as a system of magic JuJu, how to get thoughts to materialize into reality. All right, because I always say this and I come off of it. Raise your hand if you want to get in a relationship and you want to break up as soon as you get in it. You're not doing that. Nobody's doing that. But something happens along the line. Something happens. And I don't blame, because the planet, the planet right here signifies what is likely to happen between two individuals through their process of decision making. And that's all it does. Okay? I'm not saying it made you do anything. It can be hot as heck outside. The sun is not necessarily going to make me put on, you know, cooler clothes. Although it plays an important role, I first have to make a decision. That's the key. So the planetary energies, let's just say that wave of energy is making a suggestion. It is up to you, though, to make a decision. And once you know what the energy is and you can make decisions or what the energy is going to be in the future, man, this thing becomes very, very beautiful. All right. Listen. Self-activation workbook. Get that. Know thyself. Ain't that what the ancients always say? Man, you got to know thyself. It starts with yourself. You're absolutely correct. Do you know your cosmic self, though? Self-activation workbook. You get it through myastrologycoach.com. Go to the shop tab. Get that, man. Like I said, happy 2018. You dig? If you have to have a philosophy going forward, man, to more success, shout out to my mentor, man, DJ Khaled. We the best. You gotta have the keys, man. Gotta have the keys. Read a key every single day for the entire year. Read it over and over again, but just read one key a day for the entire year. Embody this energy and get on this path to success, because one thing is imminent. Very, very imminent, very obvious, very prominent. DJ Khaled is winning, baby. We all winning. And that's the beauty about this thing. Black excellence at its best. Right? A new narrative. The entire culture of the world really is winning, especially when we understand what that is. Hopefully that didn't go over your head. All right. So if you need me, get at me, call me, man. I'm at 267-403-4078. Peace.
Prophecy is what we all have to go by now.